It's not anything to be ashamed of to say, well, it kind of looks like that structure's worked quite well for the entire duration of mankind, and so maybe we mess with it at our peril.
You're hearing about family values from the childless and unmarried. Don't follow them.
The women have to stop blaming men for their sense of malaise or misery.
I didn't create you people to kill and torture and rape each other. I created you to be good to each other. I love the God who had a flood.
Well, first things first, guys. I'm tired. It's been one of those days, but it's a good kind of tired, and it ties into this video quite well. It started actually yesterday on my day off when I was called in for some overtime, and you don't get overtime much in my line of work or at the job that I'm in, so I happily jumped on that. You know, it's nice knowing that you put in the extra work to get that extra bump in your paycheck, pay the bills, and have a little extra security that pay period. And after that, you know, I had to get up early, take the kids to their thing, and then my wife had a follow-up appointment for having our fourth child. So it was a busy day, and after that I had an appointment right before noon to learn a new trade to help get a side gig going for a lot more extra cash for the family and for the household. And I'm exhausted, but it felt good. Oh yeah, and after that appointment, I had to come in for work again today. So I'm beat. I am out of it. It has been an exhausting day, and it's something that I am immensely proud of, and this is the feeling, the satisfied feeling of being a man. This is manliness. Gavin McInnes, the hipster sage, once told his Proud Boys that to be a man, you have to have four things. You gotta beat somebody's ass, have your ass beat, break a heart, and have your heart broken. Well, that's a amateur start, but it's exactly that. It's an amateur start, and it's absolute bullshit compared to the level that I'm at now, the level where most men should aspire to be. And that's because this is where it's at. This is absolutely where it's at. There is an unreplaceable satisfaction in being the kind of man who comes home to a woman who is dealing with a newborn. So, you know, she's not getting any sleep. She's not had a good night either. She's being run ragged herself. The kind when you come home in such a state that your wife with a newborn looks at you and says, "Hun, get some sleep." That's when you know you've put in your time, you've done your due diligence, and you're not wasting your time. You are embracing the role of being a man. And I felt the need to make this video because there's a lot of misinformation going around. There's a lot of lies being told to a lot of men. And you're being told a lot of things that make no sense and do no good. It does absolutely no damn good for anybody. This men going their own way movement is for losers. It's for absolute losers. Because here's the thing about being a man or being an alpha, as they want to put it. Let me let you in a little secret. Being an alpha means being a family man. Being an alpha means being a leader and a patriarch, a provider. That is an alpha. Because alphas ain't fuckboys, to put it bluntly. Alphas are not the individual who decides, I'm just going to sow my wild oats wherever they may go, and that makes me macho. Nah, fuck that nonsense. That ain't shit. That ain't shit. Not only is that not shit, it ain't satisfying. Because you've got nothing on me. You've got nothing. Because even biologically speaking, there was a point in our history where we had to domesticate the wolf into the dog, and we gained mastery over them, and we learned from them, and they too have a nuclear family unit where the alpha is the dominant male. He's the master of the house. Yeah, he's the toughest badass in the pack. That's true. That's absolutely true. And it's also absolutely true that he is the only one with breeding rights. That's not the same as fucking everything in sight. That is nowhere near the same thing as being a little squirrel with your semen. Being an alpha means having an alpha bitch. It means having an alpha woman. It means that when your pups are born, you adopt the alpha demeanor 10 times stronger because you're raising up your pups, your children, to be alphas. That is what an alpha is. That is what an alpha does. Now, I understand that today we have a few problems. We have a few dilemmas. I understand that the sexual revolution has fucked pretty much everyone over. It's completely messed with who we are and how we interact between men and women. It's interacted with our sex drives. Shit, there is plenty of documented evidence about how the pill, for whatever reason, makes women more attracted to beta males, to men with lower levels of testosterone. And also, ladies, if you happen to be listening, though this is not your show at this moment, being on the pill makes you less attractive. You don't put off those pheromones and those signals that make men carnally and irresistibly attracted to you. Get off the pill. It's killing your mojo. It's killing your magic. But not only has that hurt us, it's the consequences of the pill and the sexual revolution that are hurting us too. Single motherhood, not a good thing. Absolutely not a good thing. And it's because women are fucking weak men like those who like to go their own way. And no, I will say this. Any man who chooses to go his own way because he's too much of a coward to be an alpha, you're a fucking coward. You're a shit man. You do not have my respect, and I don't condone you. You're a piece of shit. I have no respect for you if you're just going to go your own way and do whatever you want. You're not an alpha. You're not even a man. So just so we're clear on that. But there is something that we do need to address, because we need to step up. We need to step up and say something when we see weak men taking advantage or using women. Now, obviously, these ladies have a choice, and they need to be shamed too. Not brutally. They need to be brutally shamed when they fuck a man who is weak and doesn't stay with them. That is their fault. That is their problem. And it needs to be absolutely and brutally enforced by men, because they're not getting the message. The women today, they're not getting it. And I'm sorry that falls on your shoulders, but such is the way of the world, my friends. There's no other way to address it. Not only do we need to address single mothers because they really don't understand. They don't fucking get it. If you are a single mother, you are harming your child. You are increasing the chances that he's going to go to jail. You're decreasing his chances of performing well in school. And here's another thing. Let me explain something to you. No woman understands the amount of damage to a man's character, the amount of damage that it does to a young man's character to see his mother go through multiple men. That's not healthy. And it doesn't matter how much you try to protect them from it, you're still liable for that damage. You did that. You got involved with a shit male who wasn't an alpha, who didn't man up, who didn't do his duty, and now the rest of us have to pay the price for your fuck up. Thanks. And you know what? You should be shamed for it. You should be actively and proactively shamed for putting society in that position. And it's not going to be fixed by men going their own way, trying to be little betas, trying to avoid responsibility, trying to avoid being a real man. Because, yeah, that's part of being a real man, by the way. I'm not going to make excuses for it. I'm not going to lie to you about that. That is part of being a man. Now, there's another issue that we need to confront as men about being manly. And that is, we have a generation or two of everyone, it's not just men, but everyone, who has an innate fear of raising children. There is a fear of becoming pregnant. There is a fear of becoming a father. There is a fear of being fertile, of being fruitful. There is a fear of this. And I need to shout this from the rooftops. I need to make it known to you. Someone has to say this. You weren't born this way. This is not your default. This is not normal for anyone. If it was, the species would have failed. The species could not have survived with an utter paralyzing fear of reproduction. Look, part of your human development you went through, I don't know if it was childhood or early puberty or at what stage you developed this, but there was a point when if you had a crush on someone, it was because you could see them as the future mother or father of your children. That is what drove you to have a crush on them. That is what enticed you to them. I hate to say it to you, but that going away, that being faded away from your memory and your consciousness, it is not your innocence dying. It's not your child. It's not you becoming an adult. No, that was a piece of your humanity dying. And you need to find it again. You need to relearn how to be human in today's society. That's a black pill I did not want to drop on anybody. But it's so fucking true. How many people do you know who are literally afraid of having kids? When that is the one thing that makes the alpha who he is. That is the one thing that makes you relevant genetically and as a man and as a member of the male species of human being, is having a child and raising it successfully, molding it into your own image. Having kids is what you're made for. It's literally what you're made to do. It is primary programming, and you're being deflected from it. And you have to understand, going through this process, you learn very quickly that, yeah, it's going to be difficult. You know why? You're raising a future apex predator. You're raising a little you. And that's terrifying. And it's so much fun at the same time, because you start to realize that this is what it's all about. That no, children are not innocent and sweet. They can be absolutely maniacal and conniving and mischievous, and it is so delightful. It is absolutely delightful to participate in. Now, and this message needs to get out there, because there are so many men who want to just be fuckboys and think that they're being alphas. No, you don't get it, homie. You don't get it. You have to understand, when you take part in this journey, you become more and more alpha. You take on... Let me explain something to you. Taking care of the little things suddenly become the most stupid, joyous occasions. Getting the car registration, changing a tire, fixing up the brakes, mowing your fucking lawn is suddenly takes on a whole new meaning when you finally become that alpha, become that man, become that provider, become that person who keeps pushing and going for his pack, for his community, for his family, for his children, and for his household. And not to say the least, your wife, the partner whom you have set on this journey with, your co-alpha, the woman who makes it happen. And this is something that is the essence of manliness that we are losing in society. Because, and the reason it needs to be shouted is because women don't get it. Women, and we've seen this repeatedly, women who are single moms who think that they're entitled to being taken care of in the future despite the fact that they've had 1 or 2 kids. No. You need to learn from the start that you need to marry and be with an alpha man. You need to be with an alpha man. And you need to start shouting it. We need to start calling it out when we see it. Because they don't know what an alpha is. Half of you don't know what an alpha is. But here's where the rubber hits the road. It can't keep going this way. We can't just keep calling weakness strength. This is not strength. This is not what makes society strong. This is not what makes cultures grow and flourish. Women need to be held accountable. They're not going to be held accountable to themselves. No. Unfortunately, men have to step up, even though it's not fair, and we're mainly doing it on our own. We have to step up and cut the shit. Because that's what an alpha would do. He steps up and he takes care of business. And he calls it wrong when it's wrong. And when shit goes to hell, he turns into a beast. And we've been told that we're not allowed to be beasts in this way. We're not allowed to be carnal, to be alphas, to embrace that nature that we've been told to forget. And that I'm honestly shocked that we've gotten here. I don't know how we've survived this long. When you realize how much you've lost and how much you've had to regain going through this journey, I mean, it's amazing. Because we just had Father's Day, and I was just sitting down and reflecting on all the things that my father did for me. And he's an alpha. That man has done everything for his family. Everything. He handles his shit. He gets it done. And I just wanted to give my thoughts on what manliness is and how it applies to us all carnally. Because no one else is saying it. No one else is even remotely close to the value and standards of what being a man and being an alpha is, and that manliness is about being reliable and being true and being that provider and that patriarch and that leader. So stay carnal, and if you find yourself completely devoid of all this, and that does not surprise me in the least, if most of you or some of you fall into this category, dude, you gotta find it. You gotta rediscover this, because this is the real life. This is it. I don't know what else to say on that. So I hope that this strikes a chord. I hope that you all find it, or that this resonates with someone. I hope that this helps someone reawaken that carnal need to be an alpha, to be a man, and to embrace the true nature of manliness. However, I do need to end this this video with a special thank you and shout out to those on the Facebook page, because since I've been zucked, I've actually grown, much to my surprise. I thought that if I wasn't there continually posting content, it would just, slowly diminish. By the time I get back, I'd have to rebuild. No. Thanks to the people who are posting mainly these videos that I'm uploading on BitChute, we grew from 2,000 to 2,100. And that shocked me. And I just want to thank everyone who's joined Carnal and enjoy what they're seeing. I'm flabbergasted. I'm honored. Thank you guys so much. I'm grateful for your support, and I'll keep putting out content because apparently it's working, and I hope that it's making a difference. So these are my thoughts for today, and I wish you all a very good night, or whenever the hell you happen to be listening to this. Have a good one, guys. Bye.